We ready, guys? Ready? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could go ahead and get the meeting started. We appreciate you guys' patience. We're running a couple minutes behind getting everybody through the temperature check. Good evening and welcome to the Planning and Zoning meeting for the City of Smyrna. Today is February 8th, 2021. It's 6 p.m. and this meeting is called to order. At this time, we'd like to ask that all electronic devices be put in airplane mode or turned off so they don't interfere with our recording equipment. For those of you joining us for the first time, this meeting is conducted much like a council meeting. We'll have a presentation from staff, question and answer session between staff and the board, and then we'll move to a presentation from the applicant. After the applicant's had his opportunity to present the application, we will ask anyone that is in attendance that would like to come forward and speak in favor of or opposition to the application. So we'll have a time for that as well. We'll get you to state your name and address clearly for the board and sign the sign-in sheet at, do we have a sign-in sheet at the podium? We do? We do have a sign-in sheet at the podium. To maintain social distance, we ask that you come up one at a time and give staff an opportunity to clean or disinfect the podium in between speakers. Okay. First item on our agenda is item ORD 2021-02. This item is to be tabled to the March 8th, 2021 meeting. Can I get a motion to table this item? A motion, Ms. Ostrega. Henriette. Oh, we got a motion. Oh, you're going to give it to Mr. Jones? Oh, he clicked. Oh, we're going back to the digital. Okay, my bad, everybody. We have a motion, Mr. Jones. We have a second, Mr. Bartlett. All in favor, please vote.
Hey, Keith, how do you vote on that?
I'm in favor.
We do have a board member on the phone, so we're going to have to include him in the process. So it just takes a little extra second. All right, so this is the first time we've used technology since we moved into the large arena. So if you could sign in, and Mr. Rice, if you could sign in. Just select your name, sign in, we'll get that going. Do I need to do anything for Mr. Smith's? Okay. You got it? Okay. So we have a motion, we have a second. It's okay. The motion's approved 6-0. That includes Mr. Bentley. Okay. Next item on our agenda is item 2021-007. This item is also to be tabled. Can I get a motion to table? I have a motion to table. Ms. Ostrega. I have a second, Mr. Rice. All in favor, please vote. Mr. Bentley.
Mr. Bentley.
Thank you.
How do you vote, Keith?
I vote in favor.
Okay. Motion's tabled 6-0. All right. Next item on our agenda is item 2021-041. This is zoning request Z21-003. It's to allow for rezoning from R15 and R20 in Cobb County to R8 conditional for the development of 5 single-family detached homes at a density of 4.07 units per acre. This is 1.23 acres in the land lot 632, also known as 2783 Mildred Place, 2791, 2801, and 2811 Madison Street. Baybrook LLC is the applicant. Mr. Staubs, the background, please.
Good evening, Joey Staubs, Planner 2 with Community Development. The applicant is Baybrook LLC. Your recommendation will go to City Council on March 15th. The subject property is located at the intersection of Mildred Place and Madison Street. There's 3 lots that are in the city and 1 lot on the corner that's in the county. So that'll be annexed and assembled to make those 4 lots a 5-lot single-family home detached development. Existing zoning is R15 in the city and R20 in the county, and proposed zoning is R8. The future land use is medium-density residential. It'll remain medium-density residential because it's under the threshold for that. To the north is medium-density residential. To the east is medium-high-density residential. To the south is community activity center. And to the west is low-density residential in the county. This is the proposed site plan. You've got R8 setbacks, a front setback of 20 feet, side setback of 5 feet, rear setback of 20 feet. We'll have a private access drive, so these will front on Mildred and Madison, and they will have rear entry garages in the back. Stormwater detention facility is located at the low end of the development on the south side. And they will be putting in sidewalks around the perimeter of the development. There's 4 variances requested. Reduction of minimum lot width from 50 feet to 47.5. Reduction of minimum lot size from 8,000 square feet to 6,587 square feet. Reduction of minimum front setback from 25 to 20, and reduction of the minimum rear setback from 25 to 20. Staff is supportive of those variances. There might be ways to meet all those requirements, but they would create irregular shaped lots. So we're supportive of this that has a formal, regular development. These are the proposed elevations. And pictures of the subject property and the adjacent property. So staff recommends approval of the rezoning from R15 and R20 to R8 for the development of 5 single-family units at a density of 4.07 units per acre with the following conditions. 1, regarding the composition of the architecture. 2, requiring utilities to be underground. 3, regarding traffic improvements. 4, no debris to be buried underground. 5, they'll comply with our city's tree ordinance. 6, all landscape plans must be prepared by a Georgia registered landscape architect. 7, all yards are to be sodded. And then 8, particular trees that will be planted. 9 is the beginning of the special conditions following minimum setbacks. Front 20, side 5, rear 20. 10 is the minimum lot size of 6,587 square feet. 11 is the minimum lot width of 47.5 feet. 12 is the minimum driveway length of 20 feet from building face to private drive. 13 is the requirement for minimum 20-foot private drive. 14, regarding the sidewalk around the development. 15, maximum height of 35 feet. 16, requiring fire access requirement if necessary. 17, they'll be responsible for any water and sewer improvements. 18, they'll be responsible for stormwater improvements. 19, conditioned upon substantial compliance with the site plan submitted. And then 20, with the elevation submitted. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, do we have any questions for Mr. Staubs? No? Mr. Bentley, do you have any questions for staff?
Hey Keith, do you have any questions for staff on this item?
No.
All right, thank you, Mr. Staubs. All right, at this time, we'd like to ask the applicant to come forward, the applicant representative. I'm sorry? Is my microphone not on? Okay, yes, ma'am. Wow. It's early in the meeting to get in trouble.
Shed my mask now, right?
Good evening and welcome.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. For the record, my name is David Meyer. I'm the owner of DGM Land Planning Consultants and the designer of the subject plan that we're looking at on screen. This evening, I'm representing Baybrook LLC, who's the applicant of our petition Z121-003. Mr. Stobbs did a stellar job of going through just about everything I had to go through, so I appreciate that very much. And I did want to point out just a couple things. As Mr. Stobbs had pointed out, we're located on Spring at the intersection of Mildred Place and Madison Street, just north of Spring Street. And as you've seen in the staff's memorandum, staff is in support of our petition. There have really only been 3 issues, actually 4, that have come up since we've submitted this, and one actually at our first meeting we had with Rusty, and that was we originally had a 6-unit plan. We agreed to remove one of the units to make it 5 total, and one of our reasons, of course, was to allow for a stormwater management area, which we're showing on this current plan. We were asked to provide a 5-foot sidewalk, which we've done. We were asked to widen our interior private drive from 12 feet to, it had been requested 18 feet. Mr. Moore, is Mr. Moore present? I want to thank him for working with us too. Kevin Moore, your city engineer, worked with us on that, and he's in agreement that 16 feet will be adequate. We're trying to keep in mind the impervious surface and stormwater requirements and everything in asking to do that. And traffic's going to be very minimal. This is just for the private drive behind the houses. Also, Mr. Moore wanted us to show that our stormwater management area was on its own lot, which we've done that. It's not included in the square footage of any of the lots that you're looking at. Okay, so those are really the only issues that have come up since our submittal. On the overhead, in just a minute, I would like to show a few more samples. I think we had gone through them fairly rapidly, but my clients, Mr. Stephen Pahalik and Mr. Steve Nance, are also present. If you have any questions regarding the architecture, the specific architecture of the homes, they'll be happy to elaborate on that. And again, I thank your professional staff for assisting us, particularly Joey, Rusty, and Kevin Moore. And they've been very helpful in answering questions and helping us navigate the rezoning path as we've gone so far. So we appreciate your consideration and respectfully ask for your approval of petition Z21-003, and I'm available to answer any questions. And as I was saying, Mr. Stephen Pahalik and Stephen Nance are also present.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Meyer. Any questions for the applicant? Mr. Jones?
Hey, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Looking at the home values around, it looks like they range from about $200,000 to about $300,000. So I was curious what you guys plan to sell these for, or list these for.
I had asked that question just before coming up, so if it's all right, can I have Mr. Nance address that?
Yeah.
I don't want to misquote you on that.
Yeah, definitely.
We were going in a little bit different directions, but they've got that price nailed down.
Okay.
Okay, and they'll be up in just a second.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I had one more.
Uh-huh.
What does that common area look like? Is it just a grass field or like a dog park kind of thing?
It's actually kind of nice. It's there's some major hardwoods in there that I
Okay.
believe will count as specimen trees, and we envision it being something, just a neighborhood, not a neighborhood, but it will be enjoyed by the 5 homes here. Possibly an outdoor grilling area, maybe a little gazebo. No major elements or anything like that, but just something to be enjoyed by them. But it's really a nice area. I would envision it being jointly maintained with mowing the grass, probably some light landscaping, but even as it sits, it's a pretty nice little area.
Okay. And is it going to be like an HOA that'll maintain?
Yes, sir. There
Okay.
will be an HOA.
Gotcha.
Am I correct on that?
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Meyer? All right, if you want to have Mr. Bentley?
Sure.
Go ahead, Keith. Ask questions.
We've been looking at the documents submitted, and one of the things that I kind of was looking for that I couldn't see was any kind of floor plan on the houses. Can you tell us a little more about square footage, beds and baths, that kind of thing?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bentley. And if it's okay, I'm going to leave that to Mr. Bahalik and Mr. Nance as well. They can answer to that much more accurately than I can, and they're going to be coming up in just a minute if that's okay with you.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
I had another question that maybe you could answer just for clarification.
Yes, sir.
There are, I think, 3 houses on Madison existing there now, and are you taking down those 3 houses and 1 on Mildred?
Yes, sir. That is correct. And I think Rusty had said the question had come up earlier. It may have been your question about could we possibly put one. I'm talking too close here. Could we possibly put 1 home on Mildred and okay, I stand corrected. There's only 2 houses on Madison. 1 has already been removed. I may be jumping ahead, but I'm not sure if you have the question of whether we could put 1 house on Madison and the other 4 facing on Mildred Place and the other 4 facing Madison Place. Just due to the geometry of the property, in order to get buildable footprints in there and trying our best to get each lot to 8,000 square feet. There were 2 that we could not get to that, which of course we've asked for variances for. This seemed to be the best design, the best way to place everything in there while still maintaining a usable common area. So I think that may have been one of your questions as well. Is that correct?
Right, it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Mr. Meyer? All right, if you want to have one of the other guys come up, we've got a couple questions.
Certainly. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. I'm Steve Nance. I am the general contractor. We're honored here to stand before y'all this afternoon. Our whole desire is to make Smyrna better. And in doing so, we're blessed with a piece of property out there that's got a number of 100-year-old oaks that we are going to save, every one of them. We're a firm believer in saving all the trees that we can and making that a beautiful part of the development. The homes that we're going to develop there are going to range from 1,800 square feet to 2,400 square feet. They're all going to be custom style homes. They will all exist of an open type floor plan with a master on the main and the other bedrooms upstairs. There will be no vinyl used on these houses at all. Everything about the homes will be custom. We're planning on using probably multiple sidings on the house, stone, brick, shakes, different styles, in which all of you know makes a beautiful transition. We're planning on developing a common area for the 5 homeowners that are privileged to get into Baybrook, that they will have a common area in the rear for their children to be able to play in. We're just looking forward to what the future holds here. I'm open to any questions that you may have.
I think there was one other question. Go ahead, Mr. Jones. I'll let you ask it. It's yours.
Yeah, so looking at the home values around, they're sticking around 200 to 300,000, but I understand those are older homes. I was just wondering what you plan to market these for.
They're going to start in the low 5s, and they're going to go up to the high 5s. We just sold 2783. We took that home and totally rebuilt that home, and we just sold it for just under $400,000. So we believe that the market is very strong in that area. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Nance?
Are these houses, are they on a crawl space?
We have mixed feelings on that. I prefer crawl space houses myself. Some people prefer slab homes. Now, personally, myself, I love a crawl space home. There will be no basement homes on this development because it's not suitable for basement homes. My plans right now are for all 5 homes to be on a crawl space. We are planning on doing pre-sales. So if someone comes in and says, hey, we want our house on a slab, we will work with them on that. But my preference is crawl space.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Bentley, do you have any questions for Mr. Nance?
Keith, do you have any questions for Mr. Nance?
Yeah, just one more related to the houses. 1,800, 2,400 square feet, and I'm glad you're building the masters on the main. That's, I think that's a real good feature on a house. But how many beds and baths are you going to have in here?
They're going to be 4 bedrooms, and they will be 3.5 baths is what we're planning on putting in these homes. And I'm glad you mentioned the master on the main because all of you know that so many homes now have the masters upstairs. And we hear people all the time saying, I want a master on the main. So that's the reason we're focusing toward that.
Any other questions? All right, Mr. Nance, thank you very much, sir.
Thank
Really
you for your
appreciate
time.
it. Yes, sir. All right, at this time, we'd like to ask if there's anyone in attendance that would like to come forward and speak in favor of or opposition to this application. The time is now. Please come one at a time. State your name and address clearly for the record. They only brought fans with them, people. All right. Let the record show there's no one in attendance that would like to speak in favor of or opposition to said application. Is there any further discussion or questions about this application? Okay. Then I'd like to entertain a motion. I have a motion to approve. Ms. Ostrega? Do I have a second, Mr. Rice? Just want to make sure before we vote on that Mr. Bentley's okay with Ms. Ostrega helping him out with the motion. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Henrietta made a motion to approve. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I agree with that motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bentley. You know we love you and we miss you, but it's hard. It's very difficult even for me who gets to talk to you so often. You know, he can see that in 38 seconds when it comes up on the TV. All right, so we have a motion. We have a second. Do we have, can we please vote on the motion as presented? And if somebody would go ahead and get Mr. Bentley to affirm.
To approve.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bentley. Mr. Seagraves. This is the best. This is truly the best. All right, we have a motion approved, 6-0. All right, thank you very much. And thank you guys for your patience on us getting through our first post-COVID technology-assisted meeting. Any further discussion from the board before we go ahead and vote on the minute, or we approve the minutes from the last meeting? Before we do that, tonight is Tom Bartlett's last meeting. I want to like slice his tires in the parking lot, but because Mr. Elrod's here, I won't do that because I don't want to get tased in front of friends or family. But it has been a pleasure serving with you on the board. You are insightful. You are a brilliant young man, and you are going to be a credit to any community you land in. I'm not going to give any advertising dollars to that community, but I'm sure you will have much success and much fun up there. But I am sincerely going to miss you. I've appreciated your commitment to this board over the years, and it's been my pleasure. All right. Absolutely, Tom. We're going to miss you. Earl, I know you want to hit him, but that's okay. I can't let you do that. All right. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes from the January 11th, 2021 meeting, please? We have a motion to approve, Mr. Rice. We have a We have a motion to approve Mr. Seagraves. Now,
How do-
it's
how do you
changing Rice and Seagraves. Motion second. All in favor, please vote. Mr. Bentley?
Keith? Is a motion to approve? I'm sorry, you broke up there for a second.
So we are voting on approving the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I vote to approve.
And we have the minutes are approved 6-0. This meeting is called at 6:28 in the PM.